Building muscle should be simple, but the internet has made it extremely overcomplicated. Open TikTok and one person's telling you pressing is all you need for chest. Scroll again, and pressing suddenly isn't enough. One person says you need to train to failure, the other person says you're training too hard. High volume, low volume, machines, free weights. And after watching like millions of these videos, somehow you end up leaving more confused than you started. So today, I'm cutting through all that bullshit. I've taken everything I've learned from training for approximately 7 years and putting it into this one video. And I'm gonna be running you guys through my perfect push workout. One thing that I absolutely love to see, which happens to be universal in the lifting community, is this is a non-negotiable for performance. Caffeine, absolutely optimal. So Ghost, let's dig in. Hear that crispiness. I'll see you at the gym. Pre-activation. A little bit of a controversial topic here, but this is something I like doing. I know a lot of people say pump, feeling, sensation doesn't matter. I disagree. Why is my back my weakest body part? Probably because I've never really had much sensation to it. Why are my arms my best body part? Probably because I feel them on every single fucking thing I do. On top of that, gives you a clear indication if you're actually training the target tissue effectively instead of letting other body parts take over. The whole pump, no pump debate, don't know where I sit, but I do believe sensation does matter. What we're using this for, just get blood into the muscle, as much blood into the muscle as possible so we can feel that sensation. Then when we move on to our next movement, we're making sure that we're actually utilizing our chest properly. A lot of the time with pressing movements, I tend to have my shoulders, my front delts take over, my triceps take over. Gives your brain a nice little reminder to actually use the target tissue. So we'll do 2 to 3 sets here. We're not doing anything high intensity. It's just a warm up, just pre-activation. Making sure we're getting blood into the muscle. We don't want to exhaust it before we go into our heavy sets. With any exercise you're doing, make sure your warm up sets are not at any high intensity. All that's going to do is just take away from your actual working sets. All right, nice amount of blood in there. Let's move on to our first movement, which is an incline press. So what I found works best with chest training in particular is choosing 2 movements that target different areas of the chest. So initially, we're gonna start with an incline press. Obviously, we're going for our clavicular fibers here, our upper pec, and then arm path on an incline aligns with those upper pec fibers. So perfect first exercise here, especially if you have a lagging upper chest like me. Start with whatever you're lagging the most. You're gonna have your most energy at the start of the session, increase output, more hypertrophy. Now, the big question, how many sets do you do? Obviously, we've seen the debate that people say, you know, 1 set is enough if you're doing 2 to 3 times a week frequency. In reality, is it? Possibly. Are 99% of people not training hard enough to do that? Absolutely. So sometimes you have to assess. I'm not Dorian Yates. Leave your ego at the door. If you think you train like Dorian Yates, you can get away with 1 set. If you genuinely don't, which I know I don't think many people in the world do, up the sets. We're gonna opt for 3 on this incline.
There's a beauty in the way you're worn and the sharpness of your thorns, so vibrant in the imperfections. In the pain there's something real, all that anger so concealed. Still you're lost in how to feel, just let me hold.
Beautiful. Little tip with any incline press, our primary focus is keeping our elbows tucked as much as we can. So we're, again, aligning with those upper pec fibers. The more flare, the more it's going to become mid-lower chest. Now, for those of you confused about, do I need to feel the muscle? Is it not important? I've got a solution for you. What I like to do is the first 2 sets, I do a little bit heavier, just get the weight moving, make sure we're actually going through the movement. And then on my 3rd set, I'll make that a focus on sensation. So we're getting the best of both worlds. If one camp is right, great, I'm getting that covered. If the other camp of sensation is also right, great, I'm getting that covered too. So we're covering absolutely all bases. Alrighty boys, 3 sets here, same as the incline chest press. First 2, a little bit heavier. 3rd one, we're just relying on that sensation. Not to say the first 2 sets are gonna be sloppy, still maintaining form, but we can get away with going a little bit heavier. as you can see, probably not as slow and controlled as I usually go, but we can get away with that as long as form is maintained. Another thing I've learned recently with my chest training in particular is full depth isn't necessarily always the best. In the past, I'd get as much stretch as physically possible. That just resulted in my front delts taking over. If you take your shirt off, stand in front of the mirror, go like this. You can see when your pecs, you can even see it on camera here, stop stretching. So going past here, it's all gonna be shoulder. So on the pec deck, I'm stopping about here now, making sure it's all in the chest as opposed to going all the way down like this, which I used to do.
There's a beauty in the way you lay, and the way your color fades. You stand out now with your imperfections. It was never meant to fall apart. It was not supposed to cause
As you can see, literally matched reps with the previous set, which was a lot fucking heavier. So this goes to show when you actually are putting everything into your chest, becomes a lot harder of an exercise. Now, before I get into the shoulder press, I have to say there is no universally perfect push day. And I know that's what I advertise this video as, but that's why there is so much nuance online, because there is no one thing fits all. However, this session is a good blend of everything. So we're covering all bases, like I said before. In saying that, only 2 sets on this shoulder press because we've done some upper pec pressing already, and this is going to cross over. I know I sound a bit science-basy, but some things are just true. Now, at the start of the video, I mentioned machines, free weights, what's better? Ultimately, I'm always going to say machines. Reason being, the more stability we have in an exercise, the better. The more force we're going to be able to produce without things slipping out of whack. So ultimately, when we're designing a program, when we're choosing exercises, we want to choose exercises with as much stability as possible. Little tip with shoulder pressing as well, not just for the Smith machine, if you're doing any other machine, we want to drive our elbows forward. That is going to get a lot more front delt, which is pretty much what we want when we're doing a shoulder press. If we want to train our lateral head, we're going to do a raise variation, which we'll move on to next. What I hope you guys are actually learning in this video is there's a lot of crossover between the science and the bro science. And what I try to do is meet in the middle. The issue I have with the science community is everyone is way too fucking dogmatic. They think everything they say goes. The issue I have with the bros is they're also quite closed-minded. What we need is a mesh of the two. Be open to learning, but also appreciate anecdotes of the past. Now, on top of all of the tips I've just given you, the most important single thing you need to be doing is training with fucking intensity. All these principles, science-based, 1 set, 6 sets, 7 sets, doesn't matter. The one metric that matters the most is intensity in the gym. You need to be giving these sets as much as you possibly can. I don't want to hear the 2 RIR stuff. You are not going to be overtraining, trust me. All right, boys, last exercise is tricep extension, which is a really good time for me to point out the last thing. If you have a strong body part, don't do as many sets for it. Simple. Allow that recovery to go into the body parts you need to bring up. As you guys know, my triceps are pretty wild. Genetically, just got lucky. So I'm only going to be doing 1 set at the end of this session for triceps. I don't need to do much. I don't want to grow them too much more. I want the rest of my body to catch up. And now for the most important part of this whole video, the pump check. Let's see how we're looking, boys. The diet is dieting. I'm getting hungry. So hopefully we're looking a bit more shredded. Can confirm I just tore my singlet taking that off. Hopefully it's worth it. All right, guys, that is the session wrapped. I really appreciate you watching. Obviously, this is a new style video for me, so if you guys did enjoyment, please let me know in the comments. I actually had a lot of fun making this one, so if you want more educational stuff, let me know. Probably wasn't even that educational. If you want to support me, this is my new clothing collection. I'll do a little spin for you with Keep That Pump. So that'll be in the description as well. No pressure. If you like it, pick it up. Helps me a lot. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.